So say I play the violin. I'm going to draw a treble clef now. It is hard to draw. So if you're doing violin, you're going to draw a line down. That's your first step. Then step 2, you draw your line down. Then you draw like that. Then you draw the line like make a big letter P, and then draw one around like that. And then step 4, down, make a letter P, curl around, and then curl down like that. For cello, I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can always draw it like that. You don't have to use the ruler. I'm terrible at drawing, so I always try to use the ruler because it makes it a little bit neater. Or you can just try to draw it carefully straight. So for cello, so this is for violin, for cello, you're going to put a dot, like a note, on the 1, 2, 3, 4th line, and then you're just going to go like that. So first step is make a dot. Second step, just make it like that. Curve around. For viola, viola is a little bit easier, but it's also tricky. Make a dot at the top and a dot at the bottom. That's your first step. Then your second step, after your dot at the top and dot at the bottom, you're going to do a 3. You're going to start kind of like the cello one. You're going to start and only go to the middle line, and then go from the middle line to the bottom. And then put, so dot, middle line, bottom, and then put 2 lines going that way. So that's for viola, cello, and violin. So when you have your staff like this, you can put as many measures as you want in the line. But I generally like 4 because it gives you more room, especially if you're writing in something that you can't erase. You might need to cross out notes. So in order to make 4 measures, do this. It's super easy. Put it in half. That gives you 2, right? And then make half out of each of those halves. So that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4. So down here, if I want to make 6 measures, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I'm going to do the middle line. So I need to make 3 in here, so into thirds, and then 3 in here, do thirds. Then at the end of the line, our line ends at the end of the paper. But for here, you're just going to do 1 line down if it's not the end of the song. But if it is the end of the song, you're going to do a thick line and a thin line. Even if more staff happens, that's okay. The thick line and thin line means that it's the end. If you want to repeat, you always do a thick line, a thin line, and then 2 dots. Super easy. So then, once you have your staff paper made, you can make your own song. So, what I'm going to do with this page, even though it has boxes on it, go by those boxes. So, I'm just going to draw 3 lines. So violin, viola, and cello. The violin clef, you go down like that to the second line from the top, around like that, and then down. And if you want, you can write violin. For viola, this one, do your top dot, bottom dot, connect loop to the middle line, loop down, and then 2 lines that way. Just like that. And then cello, dot on the 4th line, and then around like that. So if I wanted to make 4 measures, I'm going to do half and then half. And because this is going to be the end of my song, I'm going to do thick line, thin line. So half, 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 thick line, thin line. Half, 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 thick line, thin line. Now, if you're a more advanced player, you might know about key signatures. They would go here. But you don't really have to worry about that. Just make sure if you're drawing an F, which for violin, F is here, or C, and it's a regular 2, just make sure that it's has a sharp in front of it. Or you can just write down below that it's sharp. So, and then for viola, C is up here, and then F is here. So, it's super easy. You don't need staff paper. You don't need to print staff paper. Super easy to do. So I'm going to make a song that starts and ends on D. I'm going to do the same song for all the instruments. So D is below the bottom line for violin, on the 3rd space for viola, and on the middle line for cello. So I'm just going to write my song. Let me grab my violin. So I'm going to do D, then F, A, B. D, F, A, B. And then I'm just going to do the same for, you can always just put the letter that it actually is right above it. So D, F, sharps, 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 A, B. Now, here, it's okay. It's okay if they're touching. It's okay if it's a little bit squished. That's not a problem. Just like when you write your letters, if they're a little closer together, you can still kind of read which letter it is. But I might want to write which letters they are. D, F sharp, A, B. Just to clarify, so that the performer knows which ones they are. So D, F, A, B, G, E, F. G, E, F, rest. And then here, G, E, F. And then rest. And then here, G, E, F. Rest. Ah, drawing rest. I almost forgot. You can write a 3 like that. Or to draw a rest, you go down like that, like a greater than sign. Then down like a greater than and a less than sign. And then draw a C like that. So greater than, add a less than sign, draw a C. Or you can just draw a 3. Either one of those is fine. So I made my song D, F, A, B, G, E, F. Then I want to do, say, B, A, F, E, G, E, D. B, A, F, E, G, E, D. Rest. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want, after you make your song, after you make the sketch, if you want to take another piece of paper and make it look better, that's fine, but you do not have to do that. You can just play it the way it is, and it's not a problem. So I did B, A, F, E, G, E, D. So I'm going to do the same for viola. B, A, F, E, G, E, D. And then the same for cello. B, A, F, E, G, E. So my song sounds like this. D, F, A, B, G, E, F, sh. So that is how to make staff paper, writing the 5 lines, how to draw the clefs, writing the notes. Now, you don't even need to write out the notes. You can just write out the letters on a piece of paper. So for this, switch that to over here. So I'm just going to write out the letters. D, F, A, B, G, E, F. Rest. Try to group them in 4. This way, if you want to write it out in the future, you can just know where the beats are, because there's going to be 4 beats in each measure. If you want, you can put more or less, but make it so that the whole song has the same number of beats. So, and then I did my second part, B, A, F sharp, E, G, E, D, rest. I wrote out staffs using a marker. You can use crayon, you can use marker, you can even use like watercolor paint, anything you can think of to use. You can be as creative as you want. It can also, doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to look like it's printed off a computer. You should still be able to read it. And just write out the letters this way, and you can even write the letters like I wrote. Some of them looked a little different, so I just wrote the letter near it. So you can also write fingers numbers, so you can use a different color. So I can use orange or red. So D is none, F is 2 for violin and viola, A is none, B is 1, G is 3, E 2, rest 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, 1, 0. So that is creating your own song. You can do it however you want. You can make it as big or as little as you want. Make measures, draw your clef, and write your song. Just remember to put a double bar at the end and how to draw a quarter rest. If you want now to draw a note, some of these notes here, I just did a little slash like that. That's fine. Or you can draw a full note like that. If you want to draw a half note, like that, or like that. Also, the rule, I almost forgot, the rule is if it's middle line or above, the stem part goes down. But if it's here, like violin, it's the middle line or below, the staff goes up. That's because if you have music like this, if this staff went like that, and that staff went like that, then they would be touching, and we don't really want that, because then it would get confusing. So, this has been how to make your own song without music paper. Thank you. Have a good day.